what's up? It's Shauna, and today we're going to talk about all the books I read in June. Okay, in all honesty, I only read 3 books in June, and I feel like it is from the slump that I fell into last month because I read so many books that I just wasn't too excited about. So, hopefully, this is it. Hopefully I'll be back on track. But I did read some books that I enjoyed a lot more than last month, so that is great. But I kind of feel like I also haven't had too much time this month to really sit down and read, so I haven't even finished Finale yet. And it's because I literally haven't had time to actually sit down and read books. So all the books that I read this month were all audiobooks on my way to and from work. And I still could hardly ever find it where I was like really wanting to turn on the audiobook. It was more I wanted to listen to YouTube videos or something. So I think I'm just in this slump that I just need to read a really good book to get me out of. So hopefully I find that soon. The first book that I read this month was another reread. If you didn't know, Jenna Baresi just came out with the audiobook for The Savior's Champion, so I definitely downloaded that right away because this was one of my favorite reads, because I love bachelor style tournaments where they're competing for the love of a man or a woman, and I just love those kind of competitions. They're just almost an automatic read for me. And this book, it has all the other stuff that I love, so all that dark gore, blood, fighting, action that I really like in books as well. So this book was definitely for me. This is an adult novel, and there are some prolific words used, so if you have problems with a lot of swearing, the C word in particular, then this probably isn't a book that you'll want to pick up. But for me, I love this book and I enjoyed it just as much on audiobook as I did the first time reading through. I'm so happy because there was one problem that I had at the end when I read through it, and I just found the spot that tied it all together and made sense to me when I was listening to the audiobook. So I seriously thought there was like a major plot hole at the end when I originally read this book, and that bothered me a lot. But I found the spot that clears up the plot hole, so I am happy that I reread this so I can go into The Savior's Sister, which I just saw Jenna just finished her first draft of. So that's really exciting. I can go into that with a clear mind and knowing that it was resolved in this book. The next book I read this month I absolutely loved, and that is Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I really enjoyed this book. Basically, there are these people who act as the Grim Reaper, and because the world has evolved to the point that people don't die naturally now. So this book follows 2 main characters who are chosen to be an apprentice to a scythe, but having 2 apprentices is not something that happens. So the high court of the scythedom, I honestly think I just made up that word. I don't know if that's actually in the book, but I don't know. Hi guys, hello from the editing desk. So as I was filming this video, I realized that I needed some help because what I was describing was not what I can't describe books. Let's be honest here. I am terrible at it. So I'm gonna help myself out. So the scythedom says that these 2 apprentices will have to face off at the end. Whichever one is chosen will have to gleam the other one, essentially killing them. So while going through this process that's already stressful and, as you can imagine, morally challenging, they also have to worry about if they're going to die or if they're going to have to kill their friend. So that is basically what Scythe is about, and I am sorry that I had to come from my editing nest to tell you that, because apparently I cannot describe books, and I don't know why I have a channel about describing books, because I can't do it. It's impossible. So, back to the video. It's just so interesting, and seeing how it all plays out, and seeing the world, how this author views it in the future if something like this were implemented, is just so interesting, and I really enjoyed this book. I'm so glad I got to it. I can't wait to get to Thunderhead. The last book that I read this month was Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nguyen. This book follows a girl in the paper caste who is taken away from her family. The paper caste is basically the lowest ranking class in this world, and she is taken to be one of the Demon King's paper girls. And what that means is the Demon King takes in 8 girls a year and basically treats them to this life of luxury, but they have to sleep with him to make him happy. I really like this book. It played on some of my favorite tropes, the forbidden love trope. However, I liked it because it wasn't because it was an LGBTQ relationship. It was because any relationships outside of the relationship with the king were forbidden. I did have a few problems with this book, and one of them was just a logistical problem that was really hard for me to grasp, and that was how the demons looked. So in this world, the demons, they take the shape of an animal, but yet they're kind of human, and it was just really hard for me to picture because some of the characters were described as having like a beak-like nose and a hog's snout, and I just didn't understand how that works when you're in a relationship with a human. It was hard for me to picture, so most of the time I was just visualizing a human because it didn't make sense in my brain. I couldn't figure it out how it was really meshing together to make it so that they could even have a relationship, a romantic relationship. So that's my main problem with this book, is I didn't really like that. This book does have a lot of instances of rape, so if that is something that really bothers you, I would stay away from this book. Overall, I really like this book, and I am excited to see where it goes in the next installment. So that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for stopping in. I post videos once a week all about books and writing, so if that sounds good to you, I'd love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe below, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!